thanks, Acting Leader, for outlining the order of business for today. I just want to raise a couple of points. I note that the EU Commission have announced that they're launching a formal antitrust investigation into Insurance Ireland after claims it could be operating a cartel or engaging in cartel-like behaviour by restricting mainly access to its database of information about claims and about people who make claims on a frequent basis and accidents and so on. And I think it's a fairly unprecedented move by the EU to come in and investigate a body like Insurance Ireland, and I hope that it can put to bed one way or the other the claims, the suggestions out there that there is cartel-like behaviour going on. Certainly on the committee that I'm Vice Chair of, the Finance Committee, we've engaged in a lot of discussion about insurance and motor insurance particularly, but all forms of insurance, public liability, employers' liability and other insurance. And we've seen festivals and various other types of community activities being curtailed and cancelled because of insurance costs. This, I think, is particularly with reference to motor insurance, but I think it is welcome that the EU will come in, have a look at this. It is very important that we know that insurance is enormously damaging as a cost to businesses, to individuals, to community groups, sports clubs and so on. And I do welcome the news that it's coming in. And I think it might be useful, Leader, if we do schedule a debate with the Minister involved, Minister Darcy, who's involved with looking at financial services and insurance, about where he is with what he's doing on the cost of insurance, because a lot of the proposals that were in both his own working group and indeed the joint Oireachtas committee on finances, proposals on insurance have not yet been implemented, and I think it's important that we have an update as to what's happening and what's not happening and why it's not happening. Secondly, I just welcome, I suppose, the appointment of the Director General, the new Director General, Paul Reid. I would have known Paul when he was the County Manager, the Chief Executive in Fingal County Council, and he comes with a reputation certainly for dynamism and activity, and he was very involved with the Department of Public Expenditure and Reform at the time of the crisis. But it has to be pointed out that in health, 20 of the 23 major capital projects in 2010 ended up costing more than the agreed contract price, and that's not any way we can budget. We're looking at the absolute scandal at the moment of the National Children's Hospital, and that it's going to cost at least triple the original 650 million, and probably a lot more by the time we fit it out and kit it out with all of its equipment and so on. So I think it is important, Leader, that we do keep an eye on the HSE, how it's spending its money, and I suppose it is very important that it's funded adequately to provide the services it does require. On a related point, I think it's very important that we note and welcome the fact that Spinraza, which has been raised many, many times here, a particular drug that deals with people with the condition of spinal muscular atrophy, has been approved by the NHS for England and Wales, leaving Ireland and Estonia as the only two EU countries that are not funding Spinraza. And I do think it's incumbent on you, Leader, to bring in the Minister for Health to explain exactly where we are with Spinraza. I don't exactly know, I can't clarify yet whether Northern Ireland and Scotland are involved in the decision. The announcement seems to be from NHS England about England and Wales. But the Taoiseach has often said that if there's medical treatment available in one part of the island, it should be available in the other. And if it is available in the UK generally, and specifically Northern Ireland, I think it is important that we would have the same terms here. So I think if we could have a debate with the Minister for Health about Spinraza, where he is on drugs that are being approved in many other EU countries and not here, I think most people would appreciate that sooner rather than later. Thank you, Leader, and thank you, Cathaoirleach.